No one remembered when Mr. Hale moved in. It was as if his house had always been there, pressed tightly between two normal homes on Cedar Lane, its windows dark even at noon. The paint never peeled, the lawn never grew, and no delivery truck ever stopped outside. He simply existed, and that was enough to make people uneasy. Children crossed the street when they passed his gate. Dogs refused to walk near it, pulling their owners away with low whines. At night, a single light glowed upstairs, steady and pale, like an unblinking eye. No one ever saw Mr. Hale leave for work or return home. Still, everyone agreed on one thing. He was watching. Rumors filled the gaps where facts should have been. Some said he had been a surgeon who lost his license. Others whispered he had buried a family in the backyard. Mrs. Carter swore she once saw him standing in her garden at dawn, just staring, before turning and calmly walking back into his own house. When she checked her security camera later, the footage from that hour was missing. I tried to be rational. Fear spreads faster than truth in quiet neighborhoods. When my wife suggested we introduce ourselves, I agreed. It felt childish to be afraid of a man, just because he was strange. We walked up to his door one evening, the air thick with the smell of rain. I knocked. The sound seemed to vanish into the wood. After a long pause, the door opened a few inches. Mr. Hale was taller than I expected, thin to the point of fragility. His eyes were the unsettling part. They were kind, almost gentle, but too focused, like he was memorizing every detail of our faces. "You shouldn't be here," he said softly. My wife laughed nervously and held out a plate of cookies. "We're your neighbors." His gaze dropped to the cookies, and something flickered behind his eyes. Fear or relief. "They'll notice," he whispered. "Notice what?" I asked. He looked past us, down the street, where porch lights were beginning to turn on one by one. "Then I spoke to you." Before we could respond, he closed the door. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., I heard footsteps outside. Slow, careful. I looked through the curtains and saw Mr. Hale standing at the edge of our lawn, staring at our house. He raised one finger to his lips, a silent warning, then melted back into the darkness. The next morning, the news spread quickly. Mrs. Carter was gone. Her front door stood open, her house empty. No signs of struggle. No clues. By afternoon, police cars lined the street. That evening, there was a note slipped under our door. "They took her. I told you not to let me be seen." My hands shook as I read it again and again. Over the next week, 2 more neighbors vanished. Each time, I saw the same pattern. Mr. Hale watching. Mr. Hale pacing. Mr. Hale growing more frantic. Finally, I confronted him, cornering him in his yard. "What are you doing?" I demanded. "People are disappearing." His shoulders sagged. He looked older up close, exhausted. "I'm trying to protect you," he said. "All of you," he explained in broken sentences. Something lived in the neighborhood, wearing human shapes. It fed slowly, carefully, taking those who noticed it too much. Those who watched the wrong house, asked the wrong questions. "They think I'm one of them," he said. "As long as they're afraid of me, they leave you alone." A scream cut through the night. From my house. I ran. Inside, my wife was gone. The back door stood open, curtains swaying gently. When I turned around, Mr. Hale was behind me, his face filled with grief. "They noticed you," he said. "You stopped being afraid of me." The next day, his house was empty. No furniture, no lights, just an ordinary, forgettable building. Now, when new families move in and ask about the empty house on Cedar Lane, I tell them the same thing everyone else does. "Stay away," I say. That neighbor was dangerous. And as long as they believe it, the rest of us are safe.